everybody! Today we are going to be continuing the low-cost card making series. I'm going to be working with this piece of pattern paper that is from the Provocraft celebration slab that I have been working with the last couple of videos. So obviously I have all of these balloons and I cut them out and I've made some really cute cards. Each of them are a little bit different. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. And that's the last one I made. And these balloons are so awesomely fun and they're cute. And they could go for boy, girl, it doesn't matter. It just depends on, you know, what background paper you use, if you know, if they're particular, and you can mix up the combination of balloons. I really like this one as well. We're going to step it up slightly for this particular card and bring in a sentiment stamp. I picked this up along with another one, and there were a bunch more that I want to get. I was in a bit of a hurry, so I can only grab a couple because there was so many to look through. But anyway, it says celebrate, woohoo, and anybody that really knows me knows that I say woohoo a lot. So I really had to get this stamp. And then we're going to be bringing in some stamp pads, because as you move along in your crafting or your card making or scrapbooking or whatever it is you do, you're going to slowly start to build on your supplies. So I always say start simple and easy. Just go and find those dollar stamps and experiment with them and then move up. Okay, let's move on. I am going to be using some color, Stampin' Up! Ink pads and Pumpkin Pie Pacific Point. So I'm going to just get that out now. First, I start with a white card base, again, pre-made, simple. Then I had a piece of, it's a solid color. There's no real pattern on it, but there is some texture, a little bit of texture to this paper. And I don't even know how to describe the color. It's like an orangey, yellowy, gold type thing. But whatever the case, I sponged on it just to give it a little more. I hate to constantly use the word depth, but it's pretty much what it is. So and when I do this, either I do it like this, and I am going to go back and do that, but if I want to move it in a little bit, I take my sponge and I start off the page and work my way in. So then you don't have a big smudge of one color in the corner. That's happened to me many times. Actually, sometimes it still happens to me if I'm not careful. I'm going to just make the edges a little bit darker. I go back in and just hit the edges. Okay. I'm going to adhere this down to my base. And that went down a little sooner than I wanted it to. That's okay. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I cut out 2 of the balloons already. And I just wanted to show you how, I cut things out. And I'm sure some of you have seen this before, but I have some new fans. or I hate to say fans, but some new subscribers, we'll say. And I just basically take my time. I don't really move my scissors a whole lot. I move my paper, and that gives me a smoother cut, and it also gives me more control, I think. And this paper is a bit thicker, so it's a little bit easier to work with, which I like. Okay, and that's done. And then I just put these on some foam dimensional adhesive, and I am using some Recollections foam adhesive that I picked up at Michael's. You don't want to put any on the very bottom because we're going to be tying some string on that to make it look like it's a bundle of balloons. So I just go ahead and arrange these after I take off the backing. I arrange these how I want them on my card. And then I take some, I think it's embroidery floss. This is where I got it, or what it came in. I got it at Joann's, and it didn't cost me very much at all. It was less than $10. I'm just tying it around the base of the balloon, and I'm being careful. This paper, pattern paper, is a little thicker, but I'm still being careful so I don't rip it. Okay, the next thing you want to do is, what I did is I took a couple of glue dots and I put them at the very bottom here of the card. And I'll zoom in. Let's go back a little bit. I put them at the very bottom here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my, then I'll get one more. I'm going to bring my string and kind of press it into the glue dot. So it looks like the balloons are being held together in a bundle. Just like that. I press it in there good so that I know that it'll stay. So then I'm just going to cut off the excess. And then cut off the excess on the bottom. There's that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put this aside, take a scrap piece of white cardstock in my Pacific Point, take my stamp, oops, sorry, and then just stamp my sentiment on there. Trim this, eyeball it, and just cut it. Okay. Get my pumpkin pie again. Sponge around these edges. Adhere this down to my strip. Trim it. Get some more foam dimensional, and for this I'm just going to use some scrap. You can even use the scraps on your dimensional adhesive. It utilizes every bit and it saves money as well. And I attach that and the card is finished. There you go. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them on either my blog, theinkspot76.blogspot.com, on my Facebook page, The Ink Spot, or on YouTube. Thanks for joining me and have a great day. Bye.